Okay. Hey, Derek, you're getting that request, so you have the option to speak. You're not presenting tonight, but we do want to give everybody the opportunity to unmute themselves. You continue using the chat feature, so that's why you're getting the option to become a panelist. So you're not presenting, but in case you have a question or in case you want to chat with us verbally, audibly, that's why you're getting that. So if you don't mind going ahead and accept that. And without any further ado, we're going to get started. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our September Graduate Success Network. I am Tron Lepet, operational lead here at Bridge to Life. And I'm joined by my colleague, Stefan De Costa, who is one of our other leads here at Bridge to Life. Stefan, his camera's on. Stefan, what's going on, my brother?
How's it going, everybody? We are here, getting ready to get this meeting going.
That's right. This is our September Graduate Success Network meeting. And for those of you who are logging in for the first time, we run this meeting once a month, every fourth Thursday of the month at 5 p.m. We're trying to be respectful of everyone's time. If you have work obligations, etc. I know that we can't work around everyone's schedule, but we're doing the best we can. So what is the Graduate Success Network? As a matter of fact, what is Bridge to Life? Bridge to Life is a local college access network. As a matter of fact, we're your local college access network right here in Broward County. And our goal is to provide you with resources connecting you to post-secondary institutions, post-secondary sources, and also answering those questions that you may not get answered from other places, whether it be your institution, at home, anything that we can do. We love to think outside of the box here and try to deliver those resources in a fun and imaginable way. Excuse me, I'm getting a scam call, not cool. So we're excited for you to join us today, and I see a lot of new faces, so welcome everyone, welcome. You are logging on right on time. We're getting started. So let's go over the agenda for today. All right, our agenda. So what I'd like to do, because we're all grown-ups here, we're all adults, we're all students in college, I want to do some self-introductions. If you don't mind unmuting when it comes time for you to introduce yourself, or just dropping a line in the chat. Tell us a little bit about yourself. And let's also, we're gonna get into some career goals in a second. But I just want to know who we have in the room tonight. And I'll give a few of you an opportunity to actually unmute and say a few words. So we're going to start off with that. Next, we're going to talk about the three bones. What are the three bones? Wishbone, jawbone, backbone. Has anyone heard this theory before? I'm just curious if anyone's heard that theory before. If
No.
Not, no, you haven't? Okay. So hopefully this is something that sticks with you. It definitely stuck with me when I read up on it. But we're going to talk about the three bones: wishbone, jawbone, and backbone. Then we're going to hear from, Naya's like, no, I never heard of it. Then we're going to hear from Alicia Bryan, who's going to talk to you guys about undergraduate scholarships. I've known Alicia for a number of years now. I met her when she was a senior at Plantation High School. And what she's done in her personal life, in her scholastic life, is just amazing. And I want her to share her successes with you. So grab a pen, grab a paper, grab your notepad, or put everything on your phone like everyone else does. Take some notes, because she's going to walk you through a lot of her successes, at least a few of them tonight. Then later on, we're going to hear from a good friend of mine, Olivia Sarson. She's the director of our Get Real grant here. She also works with AmeriCorps. So if you're not familiar with those two opportunities, then you're going to hear about that now. And yes, we do have those opportunities at Broward College, but you can find these at other locations across the state, across the nation, you name it. Last but not least, we'll end with some general Q&A, any questions you have, and we'll wrap up. This meeting is scheduled from 5 to 6 p.m., but I promise you, we're going to get you out of here in just enough time. We're going to get you out as quickly as possible. All right, so before we go to the next slide, I want to start with some self-introduction. So I know someone has already unmuted. I'm not sure who that was, but I'll give at least two of you an opportunity to tell us who you are, a little bit about yourself. I see we have Huguette here. Good afternoon, Huguette, Michelle, Naya, and Ruth Ann. Ruth Ann, what's up, Ruth Ann? So I'll give you guys an opportunity to unmute. Whoever's going to step up to the plate, let's find out who's going to do that. If not, I'll call on some names, and I know a few names in here, so I am ready to call on a couple names like Ruth Ann. So I'll wait on Ruth Ann to unmute.
Hello, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. My name is Ruth Ann Nelson. As you can see, I'm an alumni from Broward College. I transferred over to Florida Atlantic University. I currently reside there as I'm now a senior, and it's really great to be here. I'm really thankful to be here, and thank you so much.
Ruth Ann, congratulations on all your success. She's another one who I've been watching grow throughout the time. As closely as I can. There's a flock of children, young adults, that I tend to look over and just monitor their progress. But thank you, Ruth Ann, for joining us, and congratulations on your success again. Who else? Do we have one other person who wants to introduce themselves?
Yeah, I can go. Hi, everyone. My name is Huguette. I am a freshman at Florida Atlantic University studying health sciences. I recently graduated from Stranahan High School class of 2021, and I was a former Brace Cadet, and now I am a co-founder of the Brace Cadet Alumni Network. It's nice to be here.
Thank you for joining us, Huguette. And again, congratulations to all of your success and all of your tireless effort done when you were in high school. And I know that's going to continue during your undergrad and whatever else you pursue, your other endeavors. So for those of you, because I want to be mindful of the time, for those of you who did not have an opportunity to speak, I ask that you introduce yourself in the chat. Let us know what school you attend, or tell us about a job opportunity, an employment opportunity, some really big plans that you have coming up, anything that you want to share with us, just so we know who we are to kind of break the ice. So Alexa, Alicia, we're going to get to you in a second. Michelle, Naya, go on ahead, drop it in there. Everyone else that's on, feel free to put some information in the chat. Again, we just want to know who you are, learn more about you. These meetings, again, happen every month, fourth Thursday of the month at 5 p.m. Bring a friend. At some point, I promise we're going to have some monetary opportunities for you guys, but we just want to continue to build our attendee list, participation list. All right, and I see the chats are pouring in. Great. We got some folks at USMC. We have some folks who graduated from 2021 Dillard graduate. We raise our banners in the air. Dillard High, my Dillard High. I didn't graduate in 2021. I graduated in 2002, so that's a long time ago, but that's aside from the point. All right, United States Marine Corps, awesome, thank you. I was like, USMC, I was like, I know what that acronym stands for, I just can't get it. Graduated from Nova High School and I'm going to BC, awesome. Welcome, Seahawks. All right, let's jump into the next slide. We'll get you guys in and out of here in no time. So we have here 3 bones of networking for student success. This theory comes by way of a gentleman named Isaac Sarwanga. And we're going to talk about those 3 bones in just a second. And then I'm going to play a short video. I promise it's only going to be like a minute or two, not even, as a matter of fact. But Isaac Sarwanga, I'm not sure if anyone's heard of that name before, but who is he? Who is Isaac Sarwanga? Well, let's learn a little bit about who he is. Isaac is an advocate for the personal and professional development of young people ranging from middle school students to college students or college graduates. Isaac graduated from the illustrious Princeton University with a degree in sociology in 2013, where he also worked as the co-creator of Profound Ivy, a career mentorship program from Princeton University students, which has served as a springboard for his newly released book, How to Network in College. I want you guys to write that down, How to Network in College. It's by Isaac Sarwanga, and his name is on our screen. It's on the Zoom screen. But How to Network in College. I've actually glanced over that book a few times, and I'm reading it, taking some really good notes from it that I want to share with you. But I also want you guys to share that with each other and other your peers and colleagues, because it's pivotal, it's critical right now, not pivotal, but it's critical for students your age to start diving into networking if you haven't already. I'm sure many of you were like me. I heard of the word networking when I was in high school. I understood it, but I didn't understand the art of networking, nor did I understand the application of networking. I didn't learn those things until my later years in college. And by that time, I mean, I was already pursuing careers, kind of had things, centered, but I could have accomplished a lot of those goals a lot sooner if I understood the art and the application of networking. So that's what we're going to talk about briefly. And I'm going to ask you guys in a couple minutes to explain, or should I say, describe what you have done so far in terms of networking, or what your near-term networking goals are, network goals are. All right, so let's start with the first bone, the wishbone. So the wishbone, say what you want. And I love that he comes up with that theory and how he ties it together. It's kind of goes along with the saying, you know, if you speak it, then you can claim it. But put it out there. What are your near-term goals? What are your desires? It doesn't have to be necessarily a career goal, but it can be maybe connecting with someone who's in a position that you desire. You see yourself in that position 4 years from now, 10 years from now. Have you done that? Has anyone in this meeting reached out to somebody who's in a position of interest? Have you done that? Have you asked for an interview? Have you asked to spend a few minutes going over their career path? How did they become successful? There are ways of doing that, and simple ways of doing that, especially nowadays with the use of the internet. A LinkedIn profile. I'm just going to assume that everyone has a LinkedIn profile. If you don't have one, then it's probably time to create one. And so we're going to talk about LinkedIn. Who said they have it?
Naya.
Naya, of course Naya does. Naya went through some LinkedIn training as well. So actually, Naya, I'm glad you said that. At some point, we're going to talk about LinkedIn accounts. You know what, Naya, why don't you do me a favor? Why don't you just get your LinkedIn account ready now? Because I may want to reference that in a few minutes. So just be prepared to share your screen if you don't mind, if you have the capability to do so. But a LinkedIn account really helps you network with folks. It allows you to connect, follow, message, all of the above, read their resume and you know, to a certain extent, a resume, their profile, find out from where they came from, how they started, how they got to where they're at, and where they're going. So networking is key. It's something that we should pursue now. You can do that in college now. LinkedIn is one of the ways to do that. Professors, deans, associate deans, program managers, you know, other teachers, other staff throughout the college, those folks are also key individuals to network with. So the wishbone, say what you want. What do you desire? Claim it. The jawbone, ask with competency and humility. So when you're asking these questions, come from a place where you've learned and you've researched the position. And I'm probably preaching to the choir, so forgive me. But make sure that you understand the industry that you're interested in. Especially the position that you're interested in. Do as much research as possible. That when you ask those questions, you come across as someone who's well studied. And then also be humble about it. You know, let's be a little humble when we are asking these questions. And then last but not least, backbone. And he simply says, persist, persist, persist. Right. So the strength of your mission is rooted in persistency. If one door closes, you keep knocking, eventually another door will open. Stefan, I'm going to do right now, I'm going to share my screen and I want to play a short video. And as I'm playing this video, I want you guys to be prepared because I'm going to ask you a question. We're going to use Mentimeter to answer this question. The question is, what do you want? What are your near-term networking goals? All right, so start thinking about that before we get into that question. So I'm going to show this video and I want you guys to take a look at it. It's actually Mr. Isaac himself, and he's presenting on this topic of the three bones. So let me pull that up in a second here, share some sound. And again, I'm only going to play about a minute, maybe a minute and some change of this video, so it won't take long, okay? Promise, Scout's honor. Here we go.
The most common word in networking is the word no. You'll hear it over and over again. I like to tell students this story, and I'll tell it to you the same way. I wanted to become an author. I had no idea how to begin. Very simple formula, and I wanted to follow my own advice. I wanted to reach out to 10 authors who wrote in the particular area that I wanted to write in. I read 10 of their books. At the end of their book, I saw their email. I reached out to the 10 authors. Of the 10 authors I reached out to, 2 replied to me. Of the 2 that got back to me, one responded, and he was a best-selling author, and I'm so excited, and I opened the email, and it says, good luck. But there was one guy, a guy by the name of Adam, someone who I still talk to this day. Adam called me. Adam spoke to me on the phone for 3 hours. Adam taught me how to market a book, how to publish a book, how to write chapter by chapter. And at the end of our call, Adam told me, call me when you finish chapter 1. Powerful. Powerful. Through networking. That was my passion to become an author, and networking got me there. The reason why I believe these 3 bones to networking is so crucial in today's world is because young people have to understand this is a skill set. I envision a time where networking is taught just like math, just like reading, just like writing, because in the 21st century, I truly believe that networking is the currency of our age today. An individual who has the ability to make connections with one another, you'll always be in a place where you can progress, where you can go forward. Skill sets are okay, right? Most people think of networking as a skill set. But I hope with today, and I hope going forward, that we can start to teach younger people that networking is also a skill set, but it's also a mindset. The people to your left and your right can help you in ways you couldn't possibly imagine. So if any of you know young people, you're saying, what do you want to teach them? 3 bones to networking. Wishbone. State what you want. Jawbone. Ask with competency and humility. And last but not least, backbone. Persist.
So wanted to show you guys that video for 2 reasons. Number one, obviously, he kind of expounds on the concept of the 3-bone theory, his theory, which I take no credit to. Of course, it's his theory. But also, when you're networking, some doors may close, and I mentioned this before, but you have to be persistent in your effort. It's happened to me. Stefan, I'm sure it's happened to you, Alicia. When we bring Olivia Sarson on, we've all been in a place where we've tried as hard as we could to get to a certain level, whether it's a new position, no matter what it is, and it just seems like these doors continue to close. But that's why you have to be persistent. I promise you it will pay off. And if it's paying off now, then great, it's awesome. But it will eventually pay off. So what I want to do next is I want everybody to go to menti.com, and we have it down here at the bottom of the page, menti.com, and enter the code 15630609. And I'm going to start presenting that now. Stefan, you can keep your page up. But again, it is menti.com, www.menti.com, and then use the code 15630609. And I want everyone to answer this question. What do you want? What are your near-term networking goals? And it can be future term. I just put near term because I want you to think about things that you can accomplish now. And if you're working on it now, please put that in Menti as well. Put that on the board as well. But start writing, what do you want? What are your near-term goals? And there's always a more sinister reason as to why we ask you to do this stuff. One of those reasons is we want to take this information and try to find ways of helping you connect the dots. Again, bridge to life. We're bridging you to some other resources. So let us know how we can help you by answering this question. What do you want? What are your near-term networking goals? And if you're working on stuff now, please include that as well. So the presentation should be open. Everyone should have access to it. If you don't, or if you're having an issue, please let me know. Okay, great. I already see people posting.
I'm having an issue, but I think I can find out how to fix it.
Okay. So what issue are you having when you go to menti.com? Is it not showing? Is it not taking you to the website?
Yeah, it's not taking me to the website. I think it has something to do with my connection.
Okay. Yeah, try maybe using Chrome if you're not using Chrome, or try a different web browser. But it's just www.menti.com, and then all you have to do is enter that code. Okay, and I already see we have some posts coming in. That's great. And I'm going to give you guys a couple of minutes to do this because, again, we want to hear from you. We need to know if there's any way that we can help. I mean, there's always a way we can help. But let's answer this question. What do you want? What are your near-term networking goals? And be selfish here. You know, think about just you. Michelle, think about you. Derek, think about you. What do you want? You know, what are you striving for? And I'll give you guys some time to think about it. In the meantime, I go back to my senior year in college, which shouts out to everyone that's attending FAU, home of the Owls. Woo, hoot, hoot. So I remember being a senior and knowing that, you know, the time is coming around the corner for me to graduate college, and I don't have a job lined up. It was one of my communication teachers. I forget the class that I was taking at the time, and I said I would never forget. It wasn't argumentation and debate. It was maybe a rhetoric course. I forget. At any rate, it was one of my professors who helped me land my first position. She took my resume, tweaked it a little bit for me. We went through interview skills, mock interviews, and then she reached out to a few of her friends on my behalf. And I mean, I can't tell you that did me wonders. And she set up some interviews for me outside of the organization. And it was kind of a way for them to get to know me, learn who I am, see if I'm even capable of doing the job. And the first job I landed, kind of similar to what I'm doing right now, was a focus group facilitator for the communications firm of National Grants. It's a company up in Boca Raton. So that was the first job I landed. Now, the grant ended early, so I only had 6 months of experience, maybe more like 5 months. And then I went into sales, and from there, I just kind of bounced all over the place. But it was really because of her personal touch and her connections that landed me that position. Again, when it comes to networking, you never know what can happen. And again, doors will close on you. So I see we have a few posts. I'm going to give you guys another minute to post. I want to make sure we hear from everyone who's on with us. And then we're going to jump into scholarships, which I know you're thinking, well, what do scholarships have to do with networking? Well, number one, it gives you an opportunity to remain in school, continue having access to all of these networking points. But number two, you never know who you're going to connect with through scholarships. And we can talk about that in a second. So I want to give you guys another 60 seconds or so to post. I'm still waiting on some other folks to submit, and then we will move on. So 60 seconds and counting. And we'll move on in just a second. Okay, I see we got another post in. Awesome, awesome, thank you. Okay, we're gonna move forward shortly. I'm gonna give it another 20 seconds. Okay, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Great, we got some posts in. Okay. So I'm just going to read one of these, and it says, I'm in the process of speaking to medical professionals that will possibly give me the opportunity to shadow them and hear their perspectives on the medical field. There's another post that says, succeeding as a peer mentor, getting better with time management, helping students feel involved in school. I want to complete at least one book before the end of next year. So to that, I say the same thing that Isaac Sarwanga asked. Have you pursued authors? Have you talked to any local authors, anyone who's published a book? Yes.
I talked, okay, during the summer, I was in a lot of programs where I got to talk to some authors, and I emailed playwrights, and they gave me tips on my writing. I was so freaking happy. It's cool. I think it's cool networking.
Awesome, awesome. So it looks like you're already using or applying those networking tools. I see we have someone else who says they're looking to have a mentor to kind of teach them how to achieve financial freedom. I don't know if whoever wrote that, if you were around during the summer, but we were led by a young lady, Coach Mo, Monique Corker. She goes by Coach Mo. She has a nonprofit organization called Girl Be You. Be on the lookout. She's going to be coming to one of our graduate success meetings. And the topic that she led with was financial literacy. She is also a employee of Comerica Bank. I believe she's the market president for Florida. Don't quote me on her title. I may be completely off, but I know that she's a Florida representative, and she's local. She's down here. So Coach Mo may be willing to serve as a mentor. As a matter of fact, I may know Coach Mo personally, so you never know. All right, so we will get to that later on. Now let's move forward with today's presentation. We have with us Alicia Bryan, who is someone who I've known for a couple of years now. And Alicia has graciously decided to join us today to talk about her scholarship plight, her process. I'm not going to put the number out there. Alicia can talk about her own numbers. But let's just say Alicia isn't paying for school. She's not paying a dime out of her pocket for school that I know of. So how did she do that? How did she get to that point? What kind of networking did it take? Who did she find for letters of recommendation during her undergrad? All right, how did she set that up while she was in high school and college? All kinds of things that she's going to talk to us about. But instead of me continuing to run my mouth, Alicia Bryan, would you mind unmuting, turning on your camera? And if you need to, share your screen. Alicia, the floor is yours. There she is.
Well, I'll start from the very beginning, and then midway through, I'll share my screen to let you guys know the scholarships site that I mainly use. So I was attending Plantation High School, and it was my senior year, and they were having like the recruiters came out for Broward College. That's actually where I met Tron. And I had seen like an honors college scholarship, but I didn't think I qualified or made all the requirements, so I wasn't going to apply to it. But speaking to him, I actually learned that I actually did make all the requirements, or one of the requirements. I only need to have like one of the four, which is making a 4.0 GPA. Through the honors college, I got a full ride to Broward College, meaning that I didn't have to pay for books because they offered me a book stipend. And they were going to pay for my entire associate's degree. So my entire 2 years of college was completely free. I still received financial aid. And on top of that, I was also able to get other scholarships through the regular BC websites. So that would be one of my first tips. Like, no matter where you're going, the best thing is to always apply to scholarships in like community-based. So whether that's, your church, the specific college you're going to, if you're in a specific organizations, because those are the ones that are the most easiest. And from there, I transferred to FAU, and I received an FAU scholarship for transfer students. Then after that, I began using this site called Scholarship America, and I'm actually gonna share my screen and put that up right now. So yeah, this site right here is Scholarship America. So far, this is really what's been paying for my undergraduate tuition, because as you guys may or may not know, community college is way cheaper than any other university you're going to go to. It's 1,000 more times expensive. I think like FAU compared to BC is like 3 times more the amount. And what I would do in terms of scholarship like this, well, this is the site, like first thing you log on, this is what you're gonna see. And sometimes what I'll do is like browse the scholarship, because sometimes they won't necessarily come up. And I like to do that overall. So even with FAU or BC, any type of scholarships, even if I'm not attending, that university at that time, or I'm not necessarily in the position where I can receive that scholarship yet, because I may have not made those requirements, I still like to just go through, look, see what they're requiring. Because if you think about it, let's say you need a 3.0. Yeah, let's say you need a 3.0 a 3.5 GPA, and you just started college, and let's say things went wrong and now you have a 2.0 and you're about to graduate in a semester. You can't jump from a 2.0 to a 3.5 in one semester. But if you knew that from early, then you would have kept track and made sure that by the time you were going to meet those requirements and have your 3.5 GPA. So that's the first thing I like to do. You can never start too early. It doesn't matter if it's a year from now, 2 years from now, at least you'll be ahead of the game and you know what the requirements are. And with this site, it's very good. It's amazing. It's not like, CapEx or Unigo where they have like the raffles and they're trying to send you a bunch of ads and all of this, extra stuff. This is an actual organization. As you can see, it says scholarshipamerica.org. So their whole point is to allow students to receive college free, to have their tuition covered. A lot of big companies, Burger King, see, this is right here, Adobe Research, and it ranges from, I believe, from high school all the way up to PhD. And I'll show you guys some scholarships I've won. So and just to let you know, the sign is at the bottom, because when you go straight to the site, it says Hub sign in. So you do have to make an account because they do match you with the correct scholarships.
Alicia, before you go to the next web page, would you mind scrolling up for me all the way to the top of this page?
No problem.
And then we have a question in the chat for you. So scroll up to the top of this page. And
okay.
The question that I have for our students that are on with us, have you had a chance to apply for scholarships using Scholarship America? Has anyone heard of or applied for scholarships using Scholarship America? If you don't mind, you can use the chat to answer that question. If not, then I'm going to encourage everyone, make some time this weekend to pursue Scholarship America. I'm telling you now, Alicia is paying her way through her undergrad. And Alicia, correct me if I'm wrong, but you're pursuing your master's, and your master's is also paid for. Is that correct?
Yes, it is also paid for.
Okay, awesome. So we have some students on. So Huguette says, I have. Great, Huguette. And have you had any success with that? And then we have Michelle, who says, not specifically from Scholarship America. So yes, Naya, woo, wow, OMG. That's what Naya says. Wow, like master's paid for, get out of here. So Michelle, if you don't mind dropping in the chat your scholarship databases. And really what we're looking for are scholarship databases that students can apply to while they're in their undergraduate program. So not things that you applied for back in high school, but specifically, how are you finding scholarships while you're in your undergraduate classes? Naya, Michelle, while you're putting that in the chat, I'm gonna move over to Naya. So Naya asked the question, and you know what, instead of me re-asking it or saying it for her, Naya, why don't you unmute and ask Alicia the question that you posted in the chat?
Okay. Alicia, do you know what NSHSS is?
And NHSS?
NSHSS.
No, I do not.
Okay, I just wanted to know what you knew.
That sounds like the National Honor Society. NHS, something sounds like National Honor Society. So yeah, a lot of those, there's other ones like PTK, then there's IPC, Honors College, and then there's a separate one that is just National Honor Society. So they have exclusive scholarships for their members. A lot of times they have membership dues. I know at Broward College specifically, we have PTK, also known as Phi Theta Kappa. Last time I checked, their membership fee was like $85, but it's a one-time fee, so you never have to pay that again. And they have exclusive transfer scholarships within all of those honor societies. So whatever school you're going to has at least one or two honor societies in there, at least, to get some kind of benefits while you're there for scholarships at that school and transfer scholarships. So definitely look into that at whatever school you guys are going to.
Thank you.
And to add on to what Stefan said, that is actually how I got my scholarship from FAU, being a part of PTK and the Honors College.
Thank you, Stefan, and thank you, Alicia. Alicia, if you want to go to your next page now, while you're doing that, I'll just point out Michelle has listed in the chat some other sites. She's found some scholarships through Niche, FastWeb, Scholarship Points. I've never heard that one. That's interesting. Scholarship Points, and then scholarships.com. So the sites are out there. Remember the backbone theory: persist, persist, persist. So whatever you do, just be as persistent as possible. And I can tell you, Alicia Bryan is very persistent. She'll send me text messages as early as 7 a.m. and as late as 8 p.m. reminding me to submit her letter of recommendation. And I don't mind the reminder. So whatever I can do to assist. So Alicia, we'll pass it back over to you so you can finish going through your presentation.
Oh, and to add in to what Tron said, yes, letters of recommendations are very important, and you can't get them if you don't make those network connections. And even networking, you know, let's say if someone can't serve as a letter of rec, maybe they told you about the scholarship. Because as I've said before, Tron is the one who told me about the Honors College and the Honors College Scholarship, which is why I had my entire associate's degree paid for. And through that, that's how I was able to get my FAU transfer scholarship, because I needed a letter of rec from, you know, my honors advisor. Now through this, most of these, not all of them do require letter of recommendations, but it's always still great to make those connections. And, you know, like I said, this is where the signing in, the site is great. It's really an organization. And I actually found out through the site, because my mom's job, for the first time, they were offering scholarship to, you know, to students of parents and grandparents. So if she didn't work there, then I would have never found out about this site. I've done thorough research of, like, you know, good scholarship sites, you know, where to find scholarships. And I realized no one really knows about it. And I realized a lot of companies, it's their first time posting what the scholarship is. And, you know, the first time, you know, organizations really just want to give away the money. They have the money there. There's sometimes the last scholarship I applied to was this one. It was the Adobe Research Women in Technology Scholarship. And I kid you not, they emailed me twice, basically saying that they're accepting 250 applications, 215 people started, and only one person submitted the application, only one person. So if they were submitting 10 scholarships, and, you know, I'm the second person, because I definitely did submit it, then literally the chances of me getting it are very high, because literally no one submitted it. So it's like, don't let it scare you, you know. Definitely still apply. You know, maybe you'll see the essay or the letter of recommendations and some other requirements, but the same way it's psyching you out, it's probably psyching out other people, and they're not going to complete it. And it's like, why not? You know, if you could get $20,000 for getting 2 letters of rec and writing an essay, would you not do it for $20,000? And on top of that, let's say your tuition is not even $20,000. That's leftover money. You can do whatever. You want to buy an apartment, you want to buy a car, plenty of people do that. And so these are the scholarships that I have applied to, and I've won. I've won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, I won 5 of these scholarships so far. And then these 2 I applied to very recently, so to be pending. So hopefully this can give me additional money to my master's. And this one also comes with an interview to intern for Adobe. And that's the other thing. Sometimes like a scholarship can lead to way more things. So this scholarship that I won, this one was actually $10,000. And I'm interning with them right now, because apparently it came with a guaranteed internship. And it's very ironic because the person, because right now I've just started, so I'm in training, and one of the persons that I had to shadow, you know, they just started, and they actually shared, you know, how much they're making or whatever. And it turns out I'm making $1 less than them, and I'm an intern. And just make sure that, you know, you guys always have to, like, think positive, you know, never tell yourself no. Let whoever else gonna tell you no, but don't tell yourself no, because you never know what's gonna happen. And you might think, oh, you know, I shouldn't apply for this job because I don't meet the requirements, or I shouldn't apply for this because I don't meet, you know, majority of the requirements, or I'm missing something. But there are interns making $50 an hour. Interns at Microsoft make $50 an hour. They haven't even graduated. They have no experience, no degree. So never tell yourself no. But I'll click on one of these. I'll click on this one, since I did mention this one, and, you know, I am interning with them now, of how my profile looked, how my essay looked. So when you first log in, it is going to tell you, oh, and they give you a sneak peek of what the scholarship entails. So if you click on learn more, it'll tell you exactly what the requirements are for the scholarship, and it'll explain it in detail, you know, the eligibility requirements, the awards, how it's going to award you. And sometimes these things can change, because this scholarship, even though I applied to it last fall, they offered it again, but it's not with the same schools anymore, because this one they were only offering it to specific schools, and they'll tell you the exact requirements they want to know. And not all of them are financial based. Some of them are financial based, some of them are not. So you have a really good 50-50 chance of receiving a scholarship, especially if you have a great major in STEM, especially if you're a minority in STEM, whether you're a woman, you're Black, you're Native American.
And Alicia, I want to jump in really quick. Thank you so much for sharing this information. You should comb through the chat. A lot of people are quite surprised at the scholarship process, but there's something that Naya posted, and she says, yeah, when I see a letter of recommendation, it does look intimidating. Can you speak to that for a second? Because I believe the process of acquiring a letter of recommendation isn't that hard. It requires persistence. You have to go for who you know. And that's why it's important to start networking now. If you haven't already, build your network, and then attack those folks. Try to get letters of recommendation. I'll tell you guys, from an adult standpoint, there's not one adult, and let me rephrase that. There are many adults who are more than willing to write a letter of recommendation for a young adult, for a high school student, whomever, because we want to see you succeed. We want to see you guys be successful and reach heights even higher than mine. I know Alicia one day will run for president of the United States. If she doesn't do it, Ruth Ann's going to run for president of the United States. But there are many of us who want to see you be successful, and we'll do whatever we can to assist. One little tip of success, or one little tip of advice that I have for you is, when you're looking for these letters of recommendation, first, know your approach. Go to Google. Google's your best friend, and look at some of the emails that people send to their letters of recommendation referrals to folks that they want a letter from. An email means a lot. So don't just send them a message saying, hey, can you write a letter of recommendation for me? Give us content, give us detail, express why you want this letter, why it's so important to you, why it's so valuable, and how it's going to change your educational trajectory. So make that letter, make your email to us very thorough, very passionate. Another thing is, keep in mind, there are some recommenders, not all do this, but some do because they're just busy, like myself. Some will say, hey, yes, I'll write a letter of recommendation. Can you provide some meat for the letter? Give me something that I can work from, and then I'll add on to it. That is standard. That's something that a lot of folks do. Some will write it on their own, but we'll make that process as easy as can be for the most part. The folks writing those letters will make it as easy as can be. Alicia, can you talk to that for about another minute, and then we're going to jump over to the next presenter.
Okay, yeah, no problem. So to add on to what Tron said, yes, you would very much be surprised, because I started FAU last year fall, and in the middle of the semester, I think I had to get, for this scholarship, actually, I think it required 4, if it wasn't 3, it was 4 letters of recommendation. Keep in mind, 2 of them had to be from faculty at FAU. And I didn't know nobody. I wasn't in any organizations. I wasn't in any clubs. Corona was happening, so everything was online and Zoom. And I sent an email. I sent a really nice email. Tron is right. Google really is your best friend. And I kid you not, I Google anything. You want to know how to write an essay? You want to know good tips? Google it. Google is your best friend, especially like online forums, because a lot of people who have success, you don't see it on a big fancy website. You see it on, a little discussion board. And so I sent the email, and literally I think all of them, only one professor wasn't willing to write the letter of rec, because they were like, oh, I don't really know you, but maybe if you pass my class with the A. But the rest of them, they were all so willing. They were like, just like Tron said, give me any information you have, sending me a resume. And I end up winning the scholarship, and half of the letters of recommendations were from professors I hadn't even really gotten a chance to make a connection with. So people are willing to help you, but you have to show them that you're taking the risk of putting yourself out there, that you're willing to work for it.
Can we do me a favor and give Alicia some praise and some applause in the chat? Can we show her some thanks in the chat for doing this? There are some of you on the line, by the way, that I'm probably going to call on in the future to present on various topics. because this is the Graduate Success Network. You guys are no longer in high school, so you're adults, and I need you to share this information with each other. So thank you very much, Alicia. You're getting the praise in the chat. Something that came to mind before we jump over to the next slide, something that just came to mind, I literally just thought of this idea. This is the Graduate Success Network. And all of you have so much to offer. You have experience already in your educational pursuit. Would it be a good idea, and I just want everyone to be honest with me, and Naya says this was really helpful. So would it be a good idea if we created some kind of a chat group or a WhatsApp or just some sort of way where all of us can stay in touch and intact with one another, sharing information? Huguette says yes, she didn't waste 1 second responding to that question. Would anyone else be interested in possibly joining a WhatsApp, or I don't know what other applications are out there, group meeting apps are out there, but maybe we can put something together. Michelle says, yes, that would help out a lot. Okay. All right. So I tell you what, Naya says, I'm interested. Naya, you better be interested. Better be interested, Naya. So I tell you what, we'll work on doing that. We'll find the most suitable app or something that we can use. And maybe it's WhatsApp. Maybe that's the easiest thing, because WhatsApp travels with you based on, whether you get a new phone, the app re-downloads. So, maybe it's WhatsApp. We'll think about it and we'll see what makes the most sense. But I definitely want our graduate students, our undergraduate students, those who have graduated from high school, I definitely want us to stay in touch. Because there's opportunities within the SSN, and those of you who were part of SSNs last year, you remember how we brought many guests on to talk to our high school students, and they're ranging from 9th to 12th. And think of it this way, it's another opportunity to volunteer. And one day you'll be in my shoes, one day very soon, you guys will be in my shoes and Stefan's shoes, where you'll be writing letters of recommendation. You'll be putting up programming such as Bridge to Life and getting involved in other areas. Let's see, when I was in clubs or teams, we use an app called Band. I think we should use that. Okay, I will look into Band. And who mentioned Band? Let's see, who is that? Naya. I tell you what, Naya. Oh, okay, Ruth Ann is in on it. If Ruth Ann says yes, then we got to do it. We have to do it. I tell you what, Naya, I'm going to task you with doing some research on Band, and I'm sure you already know it. But I'll reach out to you one-on-one. We'll talk a little bit more about it. And maybe you can be the band coordinator. Maybe you can be the band ambassador, the section leader, music leader. Anyway, that's a band joke. So yeah, Naya, maybe we task you with that. And we can talk about some other incentives for you doing this. So great. We'll look into some other apps. We're moving on to the next slide. Thank you again, Alicia. I can't thank you enough. We'll talk later. So we'll move on to the next slide. Unfortunately, Olivia Sarson was not able to make it today. She's dealing with some personal issues, so keep her in your thoughts. But my good friend, my brother, Stefan De Casa, is going to jump in really quickly and talk to you guys, give you a high-level overview of Get Real and a few other things, and then we'll leave you with Olivia's contact information. So Stefan, the floor is yours.
All right. Thank you, sir. Are you guys seeing my other Google Chrome page, or is it still on the presentation?
I see the other Google page. It says Broward is ready to launch the new job course.
Perfect. So what we were going to have Olivia talk about is this Job Corps Scholars Program, and you guys can see it here if anybody wants to read it. But basically, we're giving part-time jobs out to people that qualify for this program, and we have them working in different departments all throughout the college. So it says here, supports 80 young men and women across Broward County doing different things. Each student receives up to $3,600 to cover fees for any short-term program that can be completed basically in a year or less, including all these different industry certifications. And they also give you an allowance for books, transportation, food, clothing, and training, and personal and employment counseling. So this is a program that's going through Get Real and Broward College that we have. Get Real is a program that Olivia Sarson runs that helps students that go through challenges and have barriers in their life. These could be poverty, could be people that are in orphanages, people that have any kind of barriers that prevent you from going to school, transportation issues, housing issues, family issues, anything like that. There's a list of different things that they have that students would have to be going through to qualify. but they help you get jobs. When I was a student life coordinator for the downtown center of Broward College, I had 3 students that were employed under me through the Get Real program, and they were making, I think some of them started out at $12 an hour, and they would do 20, 25 hours a week. So they were getting a few $100s every 2 weeks with us. So there's that side of Get Real. They still do that, and they help you with your schoolwork and all these other things. And then now this Job Corps Scholars program is new. So they have multiple programs that you might be able to fit into. So if anybody wants to get involved in this, you can reach out to Olivia Sarson. You see right here on the screen, that's her name and her email, Olivia Sarson. And I'll put it in the chat as well. Let's copy that.
Thank you so much, Stefan. And while you're doing that, just to point out, you'll find programs such as Get Real at just about any university or college. Not all of them, but a lot of them do offer this program, and other programs that are similar. But the Job Corps you'll find nationwide. So ask your programs coordinator at your university or college. Go to Student Life. That may be a place where you can find it. Admissions, financial aid, cashier's office, any place that's tied to money should have a list of resources like this. So go to those locations and search for these opportunities. You can also Google your college and just type in the word college grants or student grants and see what pops up there. But these are great opportunities for those that need employment, like Stefan said. Thank you so much, Stefan. Was there anything else, Stefan? I didn't want to cut you off.
They also, big thing, they also pay for school. You get a voucher for credits through just on the Get Real program side, not the Job Corps side of it. I'm not sure if they have, well, they obviously pay for school too, but let's say you don't qualify for the Job Corps. If you qualify for the Get Real side of the grant, they also provide education vouchers to pay for your tuition. So regardless, whichever side of it, reach out to Olivia Sarson. Even if you don't think you can, reach out to her. She'll have a one-on-one appointment with you and go over all the requirements and say, okay, we can mark these, and these off. You don't meet these qualifications, but we can get you into these ones and get you some money. So just reach out to her and see what happens there. And that's it.
Stefan, thank you so much. Greatly appreciated for stepping in for Olivia. This brings us to the end of our meeting today. We have some other speakers lined up for next month and some great opportunities. We're going to work behind the scenes on the format or the modality of chatting and staying in a group. And I promise you we'll use that quite a bit. I'll be dropping a lot of resources and valuable tools and of course some reminders. But again, for those of you who are interested, we have a monthly Student Success Network meeting. A few of you were in those meetings. You participated when you were in high school. I would love to bring you guys in to talk about your college experience thus far and plans for the future. So be prepared, Huguette. Be prepared, Michelle. Hey, welcome, Michelle. Be prepared, Naya, of course, and others that are on. I'll probably reach out to you guys in the next coming months to have the conversation. That's right, Naya. Already? Yep. Why wait? Time waits for no man. So again, thank you, Alicia. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Thank you, Stefan, and big shout out to Stefan's beard. It is growing at a rapid pace, and it is growing long, and I'm so proud of him for growing that beard.
Period, Stefan.
Way to go, Stefan's beard. Way to go, his beard.
It's getting cut in like 2 weeks. Calm down.
But no, thank you guys very much. We greatly appreciate it. I am on to another presentation. I don't know if you guys are locked in with the Florida College Access Network, but when you have some downtime, just check that website. I'll go to FCAN, or you can Google Florida College Access Network. That is the kind of the umbrella agency of our local college access network. So there's the LCANs and then FCAN. And then last but not least, Isaac Sarwanga. Check out his book, How to Network in College. Make sure to find that and, support the young man and purchase it if you have the funds. I know how it is in college. Alicia doesn't have to worry about funds because everything's paid for. But, check out his book, check it out and apply some of those tools. Network now. And remember, wishbone, say what you want, jawbone, ask with competency and humility, and then backbone, persist, persist, persist. So we will be in touch. Thank you so much. I'm College 101, yes, you get. Oh, Hugh Get's gonna tune in. Hugh Get's gonna tune in. Awesome. Someone told me there's a calendar of events related to B2L. If it's real, can we get it? Yeah, we're gonna talk about that calendar of events. We're still mapping things out. The calendar of events really ties into a lot of our high school tasks, college going tasks. So for those of you who are already in college, I mean, some of these things may still apply, but they're really for high school kids that are moving into college. But Naya, we can talk about that as well. I'll definitely reach out to you, okay? Thank you so much, guys. Have a great day. Enjoy your weekend. Persist, and we'll get that chat group going very soon. I can't wait to chat with y'all on the off days, which is every other day in the month, except for the fourth Thursday at 5 o'clock. Enjoy the rest of your day. Have fun.
Bye.
Stefan, thank you again. And big shout out to Colleen Lockwood, who's out of town right now. Colleen, when you watch this video, thank you for everything that you do. Have a great day, everyone.
Thank you, Alicia. Thank you, Tron. Thank you, Stefan.
Good night, everyone. You're welcome.